Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special Army Green Shirt Day of the Massenomics Podcast for episode 326. This is actually Lift Shorts 3 and
OD Green?
Yeah, there we go. OD Green Shirt Day on the Massenomics
you
Podcast.
pulled up and I thought, we're basically the same thing. Just the ink on our shirts in a slightly different pattern.
Difference, yes.
Yeah.
And it's even the same coloring, just a little bit different.
It is. It's driving me nuts because this light is pointed kind of backwards, so I'm kind of in a shadow compared to you, Tanner.
Well, they're not even going to be able to tell that you're wearing the OD
No,
green.
I'm like just blending into the background. So when you read the ad, I'm going to move that light.
What ad? Who said it?
I mean, when you tell this insightful story.
Okay.
Here.
First, I'm going to tell you about SPUD ink straps. So found something kind of cool about SPUD ink straps. Well, everything about SPUD ink straps is cool, but first of all, check them out at spud-ink-straps.com. And then I saw they had a deal going on their, they had a pink belt blemish sale where it's 50% off pink belts only. They're 2 and 3 ply belts, and that is 50% off. That's a deal so good you almost can't afford to pass up on it. If you put pencil to paper on that one, I really think you'll find the pink is worth it at 50% off. That's a big value buy there. And then also, if you spend $75 or more, you'll get free shipping. So add the pink belt to your cart, throw in a few straps and wraps. You'll easily get that free shipping. And there again, can't afford not to do it at spud-ink-straps.com.
It just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
No, I almost can't say it if I say it that way.
I did not believe that I ever said that until someone...
spud-ink-straps.com.
I cannot believe I ever
What's
said
the
that.
correct word for that symbol?
Oh, it's a hyphen.
Okay, but it's not a dash?
Well, I think the technical term for it is hyphen.
Okay.
But most people would say dash,
Okay.
at least as far as like in a URL,
Yeah, but you think the right word, the technically correct...
I think the technical...
If you were like coding or something...
No, not even. I think in coding, people would probably call it a dash too.
Okay. But if you were
maybe like in a paper, like if you're writing a paper, like in an English class, they would
Right.
probably refer to it as a hyphen and not a dash.
Right.
Just my guess, though.
Interesting debate.
What do I know?
I'm sure people will. If I know anything about our listenership, someone will have some opinions of their own.
Yeah, do a little digging.
Yeah, get to the bottom of that. Maybe a dash doesn't exist.
There never was.
It was hyphen the whole time.
Always was.
Yeah, and then Juggernaut AI. Of course, we got to talk to you about Juggernaut AI. Tommy and I have both been running it. We're both on a little Delo week,
baby.
We can really hit the podcast hard this week because our training's down.
My readiness level is just
it's skyrocketing.
Right
they should have all the things you put in, all the questions Juggernaut AI asks you, before each training session and before each block and all that. It asks you a lot. Wants to know how your sleep's going, how your diet's going, how your back feels, how your quads feel, how your chest feels, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. There should be a question like, how was the podcast this week?
Yeah. How
did you guys stay up pretty late or
how was your Wednesday night
this
week?
Yeah, that should be maybe that would be our one suggestion to Chad is to add that in.
I think we should file that as a bug report. There is
there is a way. If you have suggestions, there is like an official suggestion reporting thing through the app that you can do. But check out Juggernaut AI. We're both training on it. We both have been for many months now.
We have a lot of people in the Discord that are, and they stay up watching the podcast, and so could be they need to be asked that question as well.
Their readiness tomorrow. If you got a heavy squat day tomorrow or something, your readiness may be down a little bit if you stay up till midnight and only get 5 to 6 hours of quality sleep tonight. But that is cool. What's cool about it? It'll adjust accordingly based on all that criteria. And you can adjust how many days a week you like to train. There's a lot of exercise choices that you can swap in and out. The training continually adapts to your feedback, and it'll change as quickly as your next set. To find out more, just get signed up at juggernautai.app, but really just go on your app thing and type in Juggernaut and you'll see it. But the most important part, and I saved the best for last here, discount code. What is it, you ask? It's Massenomics, Massenomics, and that'll save you a whopping 10% for the lifetime of that membership for Juggernaut AI. Can't afford not to do it, can you?
Nope. Can you afford to be giving up PRs at this point in your life? I couldn't.
I can't. No. I got to take that quality training when I can get it.
That's why we're doing Juggernaut.
Hey, do you want to do a quick sack segment before?
Yeah.
Since this was
This
supposed
has
to
been
be
sitting.
last
This has been
week,
sitting here for a week, and
you've
I've been eyeing it, but I haven't opened it.
So maybe you want to open that.
Okay, so we have.
Do you know who this is from? Even
No, I don't know what this is. I'm good at keeping this.
We don't usually kick off with a sack segment.
No,
like
we don't.
This, but
this looks like a flag.
when in Rome,
This looks like a flag. I can't say for sure yet because it's not open yet. It's black. It has grommets in all four corners. It's very hard to read when it's right on top of me. Oh, Stray Dog Strength.
you've heard of these guys, right?
Let's hold it up for the camera there, Tanner. Gonna get that corner for me?
Oh yeah,
Put it on display
yeah.
for everyone in the
Old
video.
Stray dog strength.
Very cool.
And then that's not, but wait, there's more.
What?
I believe that's for you right there.
Sweet.
Got yourself a Stray Dog Strength
Love me a
tee.
t-shirt.
Yep.
Stray Dog Strength tee.
I got the old double X right here. It's got
Good
the doggy on the sleeve on the side.
Awesome.
So thanks to Big Jake and the team at Stray Dog Strength, they'll find a home for this at the gym.
Did
I'll
you
tell
ask
you
them if they sell wall space because we need some of that?
The space is a premium, but I'll find somewhere. It might not be the prime location in the gym, but we will find a home for this.
It's good stuff.
Yeah. So thank you to Stray Dog Strength for that. I've got a few new pieces of small pieces of equipment at the gym.
Yeah, there has been a few little things popping in there.
Got the Stray Dog Strength 3 peg change.
Yeah, what's
plate
the actual
holder.
name for that again?
I can't remember. It's the thing that holds 3 sizes of chain plates all in one.
And that is really nice. We were both talking about how it's on there, and it looks like, why don't more people do this?
Yep.
Why has no one else thought of this?
Yep, that worked out perfect. It really allowed us to arrange some things a little bit differently and make the all the racks a little more uniform. And
now the big rogue racks are uniform.
Yep, that was a sweet buy.
And the little rack is the most compact, powerful little rack ever made over there.
Yep, the little rogue collegiate half rack type thing. Then what else did we get?
We got the Denny Stones replica.
Yeah, the Denny Stone
hitting
replica.
the Denny over there.
Yep, I've done that, trained that like 3 times already now. So just working on that.
Practically doing the Denny already.
Doing the damn Denny.
Yep.
Doing it like
You're
Denny.
right there though, aren't you?
Yeah, this last time I did like 690 pounds, and I think the total weight should be at like 735. So
Okay.
I'm
so you're past the 90% mark.
yeah. I could have maybe even done it. I don't know, but I'm just like it's hell on your hands.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really what my goal is just train your hands. I might not even really go up much for a while from what I'm doing now. I might just do some more holds at that weight in effort to not like shred my hands to bits.
Because are we allowed to say what maybe your ultimate goal here is?
Yeah, no, yeah, that's. I think this is what's going to happen. I was talking about it this weekend with family. We're going to make the pilgrimage to Scotland here. I'd hate to put a hard date on it.
And we're not talking Scotland, South Dakota either.
No, but that is a place.
I know.
Have you been there before?
No, I was actually saying that thing, and God, I hope I'm not wrong here. I don't even know where it's at. To be
I
honest.
was going to just. I want to say it's like in the Sioux Falls area, but that's just easy to say about it.
That would have been my guess too.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Okay. No, to Scotland, the country across the pond as it is, and probably I don't know. Could be a year from now, or I would say within the next 2 years it'll happen for sure. But it could be within like 12 months.
So
too,
a 24-month countdown is on.
Yeah, 24 months, but it could be sooner than that, just depending. We got a lot of moving parts. We got several of us that'll probably go in that.
And you're going to go, and you're going to actually try and lift the Denny Stones. Correct?
Yeah. So we've been planning that for a while, and then I keep having thought I want to get these replica rings so I could just start practicing, because I want to feel like when I go do it that I got a pretty good chance doing it, because I'm going to drag several people. Like, we're not just going to go do that.
Yeah.
We're going to go do a bunch of other stuff, but this would be one interesting stop in the in the trip. But if I'm going to have 5 people with me, I want to feel like there's a
You
good
don't want
chance
to
I'm
be a
going to do
failure
it.
either.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of,
don't want to show up thinking, God, if everything goes perfect, there's a 10% chance I might get this.
Right. And I think with the lead time I'm giving myself, should be able to make it happen.
It'd be really cool. And I didn't realize you said you do it. You get your name in the book, right?
Yeah. And I think they're right at, someone asked me how many. I think they're right. And it, someone mentioned Aberdeen. Yeah, it's in Aberdeenshire.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a funny,
Oh, that is cool.
that is a funny thing. It's in Aberdeenshire, Scotland. That's where the Dinny Stones are located. But I think someone just did it, and they're like the 198th person to.
Oh, is it really?
To be in the book.
Oh, I would have guessed
break.
like there's been 1,000 that have done it, but
yeah.
I suppose being in Scotland, you're not exactly
Right. You got to actually go.
busiest place in the world.
There's probably a lot of people that could do it, but
right. If these
only
things
so many
were
people-
in like Texas or Florida or California somewhere, there'd be a lot of names on the list or more.
Yeah, and you've got to you can, from what I understand, and I still got to look more into this, you can either hopefully pre-schedule in advance an opportunity to do it, or else they have like these predetermined days where you go and like a number of people will come and I'll try it.
Okay, so you don't just randomly show up one day and say,
No, you got to
"Let me out."
schedule it if you're going to try and do it. But there seems to be a little bit of flexibility with that. And there was a Massenomics follower that just did it like yesterday. He posted it, and it was cool.
Really?
Yeah.
I missed it.
Yeah.
That is really cool though.
Yes.
So it's not one of those things where, it's not the heat, it's the humidity. It's not the strength, it's the grip.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt there's a certain level of prerequisite strength.
You're not pulling 700 pounds off the ground.
Right. But it's not as hard. I pulled a 700-pound deadlift, yesterday in the gym. I did like a 700-pound Dinny Stone. There is a difference there.
Yeah.
Like I had to be much stronger to pull a 700-pound deadlift conventional off the floor. I would take, quite a bit, but it did not require this grip, pain tolerance strength.
So are you hook gripping it right now or not?
So I did both yesterday.
You did.
And I think I probably will train both because I want to be able to do it without hook gripping because I think that's actually even like a cooler test of
You're not
strength.
cheating then.
But I'm going to do both because when it comes down to it, I'm not trying to be going for cool points. I'm going for being able. Yeah, would be going for being able to do it.
They don't put any asterisks behind it.
But the hook grip did hurt. As no surprise, and I mean,
did you feel like you had a better hang on it though? Or better hold on it?
Yeah, it's a different hold.
Yeah.
I just think it just also requires practice. Just like, I hook grip for my last meet, and by the end of it, my hook grip was feeling pretty rock solid for up to like almost 700 pounds that I did on the meet. So I think hook grip is probably my best.
Yeah.
And you can actually like shave a few inches, like an inch off the range of motion with the hook grip.
Yep.
It's just weird trusting
a deficit.
Yeah, it's weird trusting the hook grip on that, especially on those little rings. It's like
it is
so
when you have those ones.
Yeah,
it's like, really, that's all there is to it. It's like not much bigger around than like a finger. It's,
no, it's weird. It's cool. It's a cool, fun piece to add to the gym. That's another one of those things I just like the way that Massenomics Gym has shaped up like all this stuff that we have. There's just a cool place where I think like if you come to visit it, you're like, wow, this place really has everything, doesn't
There's
it?
a lot to take in here.
Yeah. And then what was that? There was one other little thing.
The plate holder.
It was maybe not
Denny's.
huge. The Prime 15-degree squat wedge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
First
thing already.
piece that we've ever ordered from Prime, and we got the one. They sell like separate individual squat wedges, but this is the one.
And what did you say it was a 15 degree?
15 degree, which I chose that because it's about in the middle.
So for people that don't know, it's just a platform that's just like a wedge to get your heels raised off the ground.
Yeah, that you squat with that raised heel. And 15 degrees is pretty significant. Like they have ones up to like 30, and that would be that would be huge.
Like on your tippy toes.
Yeah, you barely stand on that, I would think.
It is weird though how on that little thing, how much it feels, not even feels, how much easier you can stay upright and hit depth.
I know.
It is different.
It is really weird. I've been doing my goblet squats on there. Like I've been doing dumbbell goblet squats because we got a lot of big dumbbells. So it's actually fairly easy to load that exercise with dumbbells. And that thing really hits the quads in a different way on that squat wedge. I mean, you could rig up that in a number of different ways, but I just like to have the
nice pieces.
The thing, yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
I have a piece of...
That's too much gym and training talk, I think.
Oh, man, we got to back this off.
Yeah.
I have a piece of... This has to be one of the oldest pieces of follow-up.
Oh, good. I love old follow-up.
Someone a long time ago gave some we used to talk about other podcasts back when there was other podcasts, you know.
There is no other podcast.
There is no other. But back when there used to be other podcasts, we would talk about like podcasts we'd been listening to and keeping up on somewhat regularly.
Yeah.
And a long time ago, someone made the recommendation of a series called Bear Brook.
Okay.
And I didn't know if you'd even heard. Or I
Maybe
didn't know
we
if you
did. I wouldn't
to it.
remember.
Okay.
No.
And I finally listened to it. I went on a little road trip this weekend. The wife and I listened to it. And it was a pretty good one, actually. It's one of those that gives some answers. You know, so many of these, you get way into them, and you get to the end.
Is it like a true crime?
Yeah, it's a true crime. It's some bodies are found in a barrel in, was it Connecticut or... I already forgot. It's somewhere on the East Coast over there.
One of those Midwestern states.
One of those places that aren't North or South Dakota. Some bodies are found in a barrel in 1985, kind of like near a state park.
Yeah.
And then bodies are found in a barrel in that same place like in the year 2000. And then they go on to basically solve the thing. And it was...
So there was answer.
There's closure. And it's not... It was like, I think 6 parts, around like 40 minutes each. Okay. So it's not like a huge... You know, some of those serial seasons are hour-and-a-half episodes.
Some of those are
parts.
drug out a little
too much,
in my opinion. Mm-hmm.
But this one I can recommend. So I have no idea who the hell recommended Bear Brook. They probably don't even listen to the podcast anymore.
Those assholes never listen to Bear Brook. See if I ever listen to that show again.
It just shows when I say I'll get it on the list.
Yeah,
I'll probably listen to it at some point. And there was not that long ago, I had another one that I said I finally listened to.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, that was it. Someone said To Live and Die in LA. That was about a year ago. I listened to that one. And we talked about that on the podcast too. But that wasn't a bad one either. That one was okay. Bear Brook was better. Okay. I have to say. Bear Brook was better. So,
you know, I said that as a joke, but it did make me think. I had almost never listened to an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience before in my life.
Before when?
Just say like a year ago. I had maybe heard like 1 or 2, just like where it was like, Ronnie Coleman, I'm going to listen to it, or, you know, and I don't listen to it regularly, but every once in a while, if I'm like packing orders at night and like I'm kind of just gone through my usual suspects, I'll like once a month, I'll punch that up and look through the last, because there's like one every day almost, it seems like. I'll just look through the last few, if there's I'll usually listen to if it's another comedian, because I'm like, listen to that when I'm in mood, like, it's kind of funny if you get a couple comedians talking and like just like exceptionally funny people. Yep, like they have like they have some like good conversation, and I listened to a few of those, and it's not too bad, you know.
Yeah,
I don't wouldn't. It's, I mean, it's pretty good. I guess I get it a little bit. It probably depends on the guest, but I cherry pick ones that I think look good to me.
I think what killed it for me was when he went to Spotify.
Yeah.
Like, I just hate using Spotify I absolutely hate using Spotify.
Well, and I don't use Spotify normally, but so that's when that's when I have to.
And so that was what really killed it for me. So that was probably over a year ago. And then, it just depends on the guest. But now that he's on Spotify, to me, Spotify and podcasts don't exist. So it doesn't even.
You know what's wild? When you pull it up on Spotify, the video rolls on Spotify.
Yes, that's which is also kind of annoying.
Well, that's why I'm like, this probably like get off there. I don't want my battery life taking up on this video. Right.
Yeah, I just don't think Spotify has good controls. But yeah, that's where pretty much my listenership went from like maybe 1 or 2 a week to like 1 every 6 months, maybe.
Okay, so you listen to it occasionally?
I was for a while listening actually quite a bit, but it depends huge on the guest. Like I don't care about the MMA stuff, so I never listen to those.
I don't
ones.
either. Yeah, that's where I'm not interested in.
Sometimes the comedian ones, I feel like they have the same conversations over and over again.
And I've listened to so few that like I haven't.
What about the Comedy Store? Oh yeah, back in the day at the Comedy Store.
Okay, I have picked up on that.
And we'd smoke 10 cigarettes. If you don't normally smoke cigs and you have one before you go on stage. Oh, and he just killed it last night. I'm like, I almost feel like these are like a soundboard, like playing bits. I've heard these all. And that was like I was a pretty casual listener. And that's what I felt like.
See, I've listened to a few, and I hadn't even picked up on that, but I would say what you said is accurate. That is where it's.
And it doesn't help usually with also the comedians. They're like drinking heavily and stoned. So when you're doing that, your brain just goes back into familiar patterns even more so.
True.
So that was, but yeah, you can definitely, you can laugh for sure during it. I have a question for you, Tanner. I've noticed this listening to some podcasts.
All right. The Massenomics Podcast, or because there is no others.
Oh, you got me again. Yeah. Some other lifting related podcasts, and there's a certain phrasing when it comes to working out that actually is a phrasing in itself. But there's a certain phrasing that some people use, some people don't use, and that is when you if you're going to go to the gym, what do you say? If you don't say I'm going to the gym, what do you say?
What do I say?
Yeah, what do you say?
Or what do I?
What do you say?
Okay,
What do you say?
I would say I'm going to go lift. I wouldn't typically say I'm going to go train.
Okay.
But
So,
I
all right,
assume that's what you're
that is
getting
exactly
at.
what I'm talking about. Is
Training.
And it is funny how some
I usually
people,
say I like to say lift.
Yeah,
a lot of our people, our people that we lift with, like there I go. I say the people we lift with, not the people we train with. They say lift. Like you going to lift today.
And I've never really thought about it, but there is a distinction there, and I don't know if I've ever in my life said I have to go train. I don't think I've ever said that.
No, I mean it's not.
Like when I
don't know if it's regional or
just
not.
saying that out
like,
loud, that sounds like that's a foreign. That's not even a thing.
Right.
I don't think I've ever said I have to go train. But then there's also a lot of people that they only say, "Yeah, we're training. We got to train tomorrow," or "Yeah, we were training last night," or "I got to go train." And that's not how my brain's wired, and I've never said it that way.
And see, I lifted for a long time before I ever thought I was like competing in powerlifting or strongman, or I lifted for many years.
So do you think that's the distinction? Is if you're going in with more of the mindset of, oh, I'm a power lifter, I train.
Well, that's kind of what it is. Like if you're if you train, you're training for something. It's more specific or more.
There's an actual reason.
Like that's what
here.
I'm just literally saying what it comes to my mind in that, and where I say lift is slightly more general, I think, but I still like lift as a term.
I do too.
I like it.
Well, I mean,
I know.
We sell a lot of clothing that says the word lift on it.
Yes.
So.
Yes. What other, some people would say workout. You touched on that at the beginning. Like you say workout.
That's kind of that's even a more general one.
That is a lamer term.
That's a lamer term, but also a more common one.
Yeah.
But then even in that, if we're looking at the pyramid here, going to the gym is also, to me, fits, like lift would be number one, but like going to the gym would be number two on that list of phrasing.
But if you polled our gym, almost everyone, what I hear any of them say is, hey, you lifting today?
I don't think I've ever heard anyone ask, oh, are you training tomorrow? Or are you going to train today? It's not unusual to get snaps in the Massenomics group of people saying, who's lifting today? That's happening all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's also, we're dealing with a collection of people where some people don't like power lift necessarily and stuff.
True.
Too, where it is but everyone lifts, I don't know. Maybe it's regional.
Maybe. I've never thought of that before. So I was just curious if you had any insight, or if maybe there's something I was missing.
I go back to, 15 years ago, when I was 20 and we were going to the gym, we were not ever thinking in the context of training.
True.
We were like, let's go lift.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of what I divert back to.
Yeah. And back when I was first exposed to what powerlifting was, I had a roommate that trained with Brad Gillingham.
Right.
And they said, train. We train on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Right.
Like that's when we train. It didn't say lift. He said train.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a foreign concept to me at the time.
I like Big Joey in the Discord. It's really not lifting or training. It's going to war.
It is
That's
war.
what we do. Every day and there's going to war in the bar.
Yeah. Yeah. War-torn soldiers over here.
Yeah. We go to war on the bar, brother.
So maybe we shed some light on there or something. I don't know.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good topic though.
I'm sure some people have some strong opinions out there.
What else? We got?
I'm thirsty.
Yeah. Let's pop into a can.
This isn't like a full what's in the can. This is the last lime. The last two limes.
So it's not, I don't have to guess here.
You don't have to guess. Unless I'm lying to you and it's actually a sour apple.
That'd be a sick little trick. Here we go. Ooh, that's got a crispy crack to it, doesn't it?
Yes, it do.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. It's a real good one. We're coming up on the 4th of July, aren't we?
Oh, we are. That just reminded me, actually, speaking of time of the year.
This will come out on the 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, it's a Monday, yeah.
Yeah.
We never put in our predictions for the NBA Finals winners. We never put in our predictions for
I was going to pick the Warriors.
Were you really?
Actually, I mean, I'm saying that as a joke right now, but that's what I had discussions with people. like once we were like halfway through the first round or through the first round, I'm like, I really think the Warriors are going to win it. They kind of got it all coming together right now.
I was hoping for the Celtics, and I didn't think I'd ever really say that much, but I was hoping for the Celtics, and yeah, that didn't work out. So we didn't put our NHL predictions in either. A lot of people look forward to those every year.
I don't know. I don't think we've ever done that. Talk about something we wouldn't be qualified to predict.
No, not one bit.
I think the Avalanche one.
Yeah, they did.
Okay.
They did. Yes, I believe they stopped the Tampa Bay's three-peat. I think Tampa Bay was on the way to a three-peat.
Yes, the perennial powerhouse of hockey in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
The way it was meant to be. Hockey in the South. The origins of the sport. Where you lead us are really protection.
So do we have any other predictions we need to make? Is that what you're getting at, or is we pretty much?
No, I think we're just talking about the time of the year.
Okay.
Because 4th of July, I don't think there's anything coming up here. Yeah.
You went to a baseball game, though.
I did go to a baseball game, actually.
The Twinkies.
I did.
Do you call them the Twinkies ever?
I don't know.
Have you heard people say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a commonplace.
The Twinkies, the Vi Queens,
Yeah.
I went to first game I'd been to there in a long time. I guess it was like 10 years. So I used to go like every year, make the trip. It was like, it's summertime. We're going to party. And I have a wife that's like almost 8 months pregnant. So we weren't exactly there to party. I mean, I was trying to have as much fun as I could, but it was a great time. I loved going. It was a hot day. It's outside. Hot. It was such a great area. There was a lot of people out and about, so I had a ton of fun. It was good stuff.
We were talking about it's a fun downtown area when you get, we've talked about it before, where you get to stay there and everything's walking distance and it's a cool atmosphere.
Yeah, like you got First Avenue right there. The Target Center's right there. The Target Center's basically connected to Target Field. It's a cool vibe. It's summertime in the upper Midwest. People are just out to have fun.
Yeah.
In that case.
Big Lou asked no predictions for the College World Series. Well, he's an Omaha guy, I guess, so that's relevant to him. But
I'm guessing a college team is going to win it, but I couldn't tell you who's in it. Do you know?
No. I'll just throw out a guess of a team that I think could be.
I'm going to say like, oh yeah, the favorite is.
No, I'm going to say I don't need. Do you even know one school that's like predictably good at baseball? College.
It's got to be schools in the South.
Well, I was going to say Texas Longhorns would be my one guess of.
Say
LSU. I don't know.
Texas, maybe a Florida school. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe like Duke or North Carolina has a baseball team for some reason.
Yeah,
I could see something like that.
No,
that would be my guess though.
Yeah. No. Baseball's a different sport in the way that the whole system is the whole system is like it's not so much a clear-cut path as say football is right now or basketball. Well, basketball there is some,
but it's still fairly straightforward.
Right.
You go to college one year and you go to the pros. Like that's how it works.
Right. For now, that could change, and that has changed back and forth a few times. But baseball seems much different.
Yeah, don't you get drafted like out of high school or something like that? Or is it in
See,
college?
that's what I
or is
like.
that
I think that you can, I think that can happen in baseball, but then you like still don't go play there for a long time. But maybe they own the rights.
You get drafted
to you,
It's like you don't get drafted and you start playing 6 months later. That did remind me. Walking about in Minneapolis, I had my Massenomics gym shirt on, and I'm like, I always tell my wife, you see it in the Discord all the time, people wearing their Massenomics stuff, and I always getting shout outs and taking pictures. Never happened to me before. Never in my life has it ever happened to me outside of like going to a meet. Yeah. So I'm telling her, we live in Aberdeen, so who the hell is going to make a point of it in Aberdeen? Like that's not going to be a thing.
Right. Yeah.
So all right, it's going to happen. It was in Miami, wore Massenomics shirts for 5 straight days. No one said a thing. I have my Massenomics gym shirt on. We're at this mall, and the guy goes, "Dude, Aberdeen, South Dakota." And I'm just thinking he's going to be like, the real Massenomics? Yeah. And he goes, dude, I used to play hockey there. And I'm like, And I said, for the Wings? And he goes, no, I played for a different team, but we'd come and play the Wings. And he said Aberdeen was a fun place to come play. He said it was one of their highlights as far as stops go. But yeah, he did.
I don't know if I'm going to count that.
Massenomics didn't mean a thing to him. No. So I didn't feel like it counted at all.
No.
I just felt like I was so close.
That is close.
But not there.
Close, but no cigar. Mm-hmm. We did have supporting our supporting members. Are we? Should we hit it?
Let's support them.
Hit them with that. Okay. For anyone that doesn't know, this is a relatively new segment. It's one of our fastest growing. It's becoming, I think, a fan favorite segment. And what we do is we have this group of supporting members, they choose to support the podcast monetarily. There are several different options. What do we have? There's a lift shorts level. What's the first level? The
LaCroix level.
The LaCroix level, the lift shorts level, the lift shorts platinum level, and then the pierogi level. Those are the available choices. You can choose to sign up on any of those levels, and then you get exclusive access to the very quickly growing Massenomics Discord community. There's discount codes available. Things like membership cards that we send out, other surprises coming in the future. What is there any other? I'm sure I'm forgetting a number of things. You get early access on
to the
drafts.
podcast. You get to listen to the first half hour live every Wednesday night.
Right. So a whole bunch of benefits, and we like to give back to those people a little bit each week through our supporting members segment. And first we have Big Brad. He competed in his first Highland Games, and he did really well, and he even won first place in weight over bar.
Nice.
And I always say weight over bar is a good event for lifters.
You can't fake weight over bar.
Nope. Weight over bar is my favorite.
You can be really tall, and that'll get you a little ways.
Yep.
And you can have good technique, and that'll get you pretty far too.
Yep.
But you got to be strong for that one.
Being strong is never wrong.
Nope, it ain't wrong.
Put that on a shirt.
Is it wrong to be strong?
And then otherwise, we also had Big Scott Dodds. Shout out to the first ever supporting member. He competed at Strongman USS Nationals as a master in the Masters class.
Tearing it up.
He did really well. I think he just missed getting top 5.
Damn.
Came down to the last event, and he almost he kind of had like a little mistake there or something, and could have got top 5 in Masters. And there's a ton of competitors in those.
That's really good.
Those nationals, so that's pretty legit.
Scott's been looking strong.
Big Scott's not messing around, is he?
No, he's not.
They don't call him Dodzilla for no reason.
No, you don't get that nickname on accident.
No. So shout out to Big Scott. That's what I had this week for supporting our supporting members. So
good stuff.
Sign
guys.
up. You could another benefit obvious here. You could get on supporting our supporting members, and who wouldn't want that?
Live. Okay, is that all of them?
That's it.
All right, then I'm going to tell you about someone else you should support, Tanner.
Oh,
and that's our good friends at Fusion Sports Performance Supplements. Do you know what's in your supplements? If you use Fusion Sports Performance, you always will. Fusion SP prides itself on being fully transparent, never using proprietary blends, and always providing its customers with top quality products. All the bubbles from the seltzer water make ad reads a little tricky sometimes. They offer 2 pre-workout options with Super Soldier pre-workout and Mad Titan High Stim pre-workout. Both have proven ingredients at their full clinical doses to maximize performance, increase muscular endurance, improve focus, and get you that much sought-after pump. Both are favorites among strength sport athletes. Healing Factor post-workout combines BCAAs with a full serving of creatine monohydrate and other great ingredients to help maximize your efforts in the gym, build muscle, and recover fast. Fusion's whey protein isolate not only tastes great, it also has 27 grams of protein per scoop, 0 fat, and low or no carb options depending on the flavor. It doesn't contain any soy or gluten, and it won't cause any stomach discomfort. Available in vanilla ice cream, chocolate fudge, and frosted cinnamon roll flavors. Most orders are shipped within 1 business day, and every Fusion Sports Performance product comes fully backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Go to fusionsp.net and use code MASS, M-A-S-S, to save a huge 20% on your order. And one other thing here. In 1995, our friend Maurice Big Mo Huffman founded SwissLink. He had a partner based in Switzerland, and their mission was to bring authentic Swiss Army goods to the United States and into the hands of those yearning for quality gear at uncompromised prices. Over the years, that mission expanded to nations across Europe and beyond. Now, for nearly 3 decades, Big Mo has been traveling far and wide in search of the best items from military forces around the world. Big Mo doesn't only find authentic military clothing for SwissLink, he brings in everything you can imagine, from Czech Army bedpans to Italian champagne glasses. At SwissLink.com, you can find classic military surplus uniforms, a great selection of military-issue backpacks, tools, wool blankets, NATO fuel cans, gas masks, emergency food, first aid kits, survival packs, camping gear, and so much more. SwissLink's unrivaled collection and dedication to quality customer service sets them apart from the rest. Treat yourself to the real thing with authentic military surplus and save 15% off your first order from swisslink.com with code MASS at checkout, MASS, to save 15% from our friends at Swisslink, SWISSLINK.com. Thank you, Swisslink and Fusion Sports Performance.
Cool beans. And if you're using any of our sponsors' products, tag us on Instagram and that. We'll share it out there. Let them know getting that chocolate of some sort or maybe one of those NATO fuel cans.
Yeah.
We want to see it.
Or a gas mask. Is that like hook a gas tank up to your mask? Is it?
That's what it is, yep.
Buy Discord?
See Discordians. Now, should we get our guest for this week on the horn?
Yeah.
All right, let's try it. Hopefully.
A guy can hope.
Please leave your...
Well, lucky for this situation, we've got some backup topics until we come back on.
It's like that Blink-182 song. Where are you? That's just what we're over here. We're in full Tom DeLonge mode over here.
I like a good exaggerated impersonation of that voice.
My brother Ryan. That's
Yeah, it is really good. I like it when he does that.
Once you're about 20 beers deep, it's like, oh yeah, you can just say this over and over. It
Yes.
never gets old.
Yes, I do like it when he does that.
Also, I think there's clips on YouTube of that going for hours on end, I believe. So if someone really has that itch they need scratched, I think it's out there for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Golf ball update.
Oh.
That? Yeah.
Yes.
Been a lot of hot action on the golf ball.
This is this episode 4 of the hottest new drama?
I think so. I should say windshield update or golf course windshield
It's like
update
what came first,
2022.
the chicken or the egg, right?
That's true. So the latest is the city did turn me down. They said they're going to deny my claim that they don't have responsibility or liability.
You say, oh, this was America. This is America?
Thought this was America. No, so then, what's next? I posted on Facebook about it and got a bunch of people to comment and share. That was just today, and there's
Trying to get some answers, basically, right?
Yeah, well, just kind of
Raise awareness to the cause.
yeah, partly to put it out there because we do live in a really small community. Mm-hmm. So the person that did it, I kind of know that they're going to come across this because we do live in the community we live in is even smaller than you realize at times because it's just the way it is. Even though there's maybe like 30,000 people in the Grady area, just
you can't leave the house without seeing someone you know. Like it's not possible.
Right. So I know if I put this out there and I don't know if I was ranting, but I tried to not make it sound like a complete rant, just kind of like, hey, this is what happened. And I was just like, what do you all think? And I got a lot of activity on that.
The court of public opinion. Here we go, baby.
Yeah. So I got a lot of interesting comments on that and what people thought, and seemed to be pretty even the mayor of Western Northeast South Dakota weighed in on it, partly because I tagged the mayor and several other city officials because
directly pinged them.
Yes. But kudos to him for having for weighing in on it, I guess. And his and several other opinion was that if I really want to do something about it, I would probably have to file small claims against the golfer that did it.
But then you realize the problem would be deciding, do you take them to Judge Judy?
Yes.
Or also, Steve Harvey has his show now. It's like, which show do you go on?
That's the question, problem, isn't it? Yeah.
To properly make your case on television.
Right. Is that about all the good TV jury shows?
I'm trying to think. There was some other ones. There was Judge Judy.
That's kind of the most popular
She's
one.
the most popular one. There was another lady. I cannot think of her name now. And was there a
Judge Judith Chandler or something like that?
I think you're right, actually. I feel like there was a guy, but maybe I'm just thinking in my head there is because it seems like there would be, but maybe not.
And what's the thing? Are those real?
I think they are. Aren't they all like small? Aren't they all just kind of like small claims court type things? But nothing I think we were talking about this is like, just because like you win on that show, it doesn't really mean anything.
Right.
The
Right.
next issue is trying to actually get the money from people.
Yeah. Like actually getting the money is another thing. And so, I guess the question is, am I going to do the small claims court thing? And it's like, I don't know that I need to do that. You know, I would like the person that did it to be like, yeah, should we work something out here? Like, there's probably a fair resolution to this. That would be my, you know, most ideal thing that could happen now.
Yeah, that would be, you would think in all scenarios, the best thing that could happen.
Right. So maybe that'll happen. Stay tuned on that. I considered taking the city of Aberdeen, filing a small, because I could file a small claim suit against the city of Aberdeen. Kind of considered that just out of
just out the principle.
Yeah, just out of principle, and just to see like what happens here, and like maybe send in like an edit like to the local newspaper, because you can send in and they'll publish it. You know,
Yes.
I could do that if I just want to be a pain in the ass.
You
of
could
people
almost
that like,
you could
this
almost
guy.
you could almost fill the letter. It'd be like a letter to the editor type
Yes.
thing. You could
Yeah.
almost just fill it in with almost just a million references to memes. It's like, question, if a golf ball is hit, is it international water? Like just all the dumb stuff. Because there's been some pretty good memes popping off in the Discord about golf balls and international waters and just how laws don't apply.
Yes.
If a corporation and an LLC both hit a golf ball, was a golf ball even hit? Like,
I like someone made the don't curl in me flag, only it was I can't remember what it was. A picker in the center was a Chevy
like, don't
pickup.
slice me or
yeah,
something.
don't slice on me.
Yeah,
that is pretty funny.
There's been some really good content that has. I guess that's the silver lining. There has been. What was the one today that someone posted? Because it was an actual screenshot from the website of the golf course, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that was Big Jeff that made, and I even shared that one on the Facebook post, and a lot of people were enjoying that too.
This guy's a professional.
Also, a lot of memes about this guy.
Yes, the guy from Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, that like drawing parallels to me and that guy, which that's pretty funny too. That one was from Big Jeff, and I gotta find it because it's play worry free at Lee Park Golf Course, where legal liability meets sovereign immunity.
That's good.
And that is kind of the running joke where it's like, oh no, if it's a golf ball, like, no, it's completely allowed.
Oh no, it's okay. I have a golf ball on me. I'm exempt from the law. Like that is what's so funny about it.
And even
like,
people on like local people in the Facebook post were picking up on, someone's like, I'm going to use that golf excuse the next time I'm in trouble for something.
Yeah. It's okay. I have a golf ball. Like it's just like the get out of jail free card no matter what you do.
Well, the old Seinfeld episode was that you're going to have to be someone's butler. Like that was I think the actual on the show, the show had an actual pilot, the first episode ever of the real show, but a part of the show in later years was them making a pilot of a show, like that was they're acting about making this pilot. And that was the premise of their pilot that they made up, was the guy, like they got in a fender bender or something, and the judge sentenced him to be the guy's butler.
Oh, really?
That that was his payment.
Yeah.
So like people, I think even Jim McD and a few other people were commenting in there on Facebook that, maybe there's an appropriate punishment like that, or that the other comment was that it would only be fair to if I smashed out his vehicle with a golf club or a golf ball,
right?
Because like, well, it's golf,
it's just how the sport goes. Yeah.
The old eye for an eye.
Yeah, that always made everything better for everyone, right?
Yeah, literally cutting someone's eye out, chopping a hand off for stealing.
Me, I must also return the favor to make everything right. That balances everything out always. Yeah. Speaking of TV shows, did you see Nathan Fielder has a new TV show coming out?
No, is he on it?
I think he's actually on it.
Okay,
and
that interests me.
This actually just reminded me that I've wanted to look up what this is for a long time now, and I haven't done it, so I'm going to kind of try to do it right now. But it's an HBO show, and it looked like almost kind of like a Truman type show. Like he was trying to like build the perfect like work. Like it looked like he was directing like a family
I am a big Nathan Fielder fan,
Oh,
so I'm excited to.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's all right. So it says the comedic series, which will explore the lengths one man will go to reduce the uncertainties of everyday life, and it's like him surrounded by like fake family. So I think it's like a Nathan, like it's a classic Nathan for You thing of like he's gonna do everything he can in his power. Like he doesn't want to feel anxious, so if I eliminate all outside world and impulses, then I can't be anxious because I'm in control of everything. I'm assuming he's like taking that to the extreme.
Right. When does it air?
I believe July 15th, so 2 weeks.
Right around the corner, isn't it? Good.
With a construction crew, a legion of actors, and a seemingly unlimited resources, Nathan Fielder allows ordinary people to prepare for life's biggest moments by rehearsing them in carefully crafted situations of his own design. Okay, so you know it's going to be insane. When a single mishap could shatter your entire world, why leave it to chance? All right, I like the premise.
That is good. Okay.
And he's going to put them in the most like wackiest like situations that would never, ever, ever happen.
Yes. What about the those shoes you were talking about?
Yeah,
I was pretty interested in that.
The powerlifting world doesn't get graced with new footwear too often. There's a little more development that goes into the lifter side of things, with your raised heel shoes. There's a little more action happening there just because you have bigger companies like Nike and Adidas pumping out new things every couple of years. And then there's always some smaller people getting in on the action too.
Yep.
Otherwise, if you're just looking for a pretty minimal flat shoe, somewhat of a wide fit to it, minimal height to the outsole even.
Yep.
Hasn't been a ton of options out there. You could say the newest, maybe noteworthy competitor or person in the market would be barefoot.
Barefoot for sure, I think, right?
Outside of them, I can't even really think of who's entered this market much lately.
Is it Sabo or whatever? Like that's a fairly popular one, or
are those that wide?
I don't know that they're that wide.
Like to me, that always just looked like a wrestling shoe,
right? Yeah.
That just had.
Yeah, I don't know that they have that wide of a toe box.
Yeah, and there's guys at the gym that have them.
Yep.
I've never worn them, but in looking down at them, to me, they always look like a wrestling shoe that just had a little more substantial sole to it.
Right.
And that is also a wrestling shoe is something some people do wear, but I think that does miss the problem that a lot of these shoes have is they're too narrow. Like Converse suck. Like they're way too narrow.
Too thin, yeah.
And they do the little curve up thing on the end.
Yeah, they do. The toe.
From a stylistic standpoint, I think Converse, they look great. They're classic. They're an all-time classic. They can wear them about everywhere and they work. But in the gym, as a guy that wore Converse in the gym for probably 2 years, I think they suck as a gym shoe. I hate them as a gym shoe.
Yeah.
We've been rocking Old Reliable for the last
better half of a decade,
6-7 years probably. Yeah. And that would be the CrossFit Reebok TR light highs.
And it is funny. There's a cult of us at the gym that won't give up on those either. Yeah. Where it's like
I don't see mine still look pretty good.
Yeah.
They only get worn in the gym. So,
but it's funny if you see someone wearing those, they've been powerlifting for quite a while.
The mid-teens,
right?
Because that was that was the only time you could get those things, or earlier even.
Yeah,
that is like a badge of. It used to be we would say in way old episodes that the badge of honor was that if you had the Titan power boots, that you had been lifting a long time.
Nobody wears those.
No, but those were a thing.
Yeah,
those were a thing.
Right.
And you could see them, and I think they were like $200 and some.
Yeah.
And it was basically like a toned down version of what you would expect someone at a Kiss concert to wear.
Fashionably, those are so.
It's a high top leather boot with like a thick sole on it. Right?
Yeah.
I don't think they had that thin of a sole on them. I think they were somewhat chunky.
Yeah.
And we even talked to Jonah Leo.
Yeah.
Jonah Leo wore them.
That's right.
And we talked to him about them. And he, I believe, also made the comment if you're around, these are the shoes you have.
Yep.
I couldn't tell you the last time I saw those pop up on Instagram or anywhere. YouTube. Have you seen those things in 8 years?
No, it's funny that you brought that up because those are a relic from the past. Where it is funny how that's like the Reebok TR Lite. If you see someone wearing that, they've been lifting for a while. And we used to say that about the power boot. But now if you see those, you're like, holy shit, where did this guy get those?
What dungeon did this guy crawl out of? So you have that.
Those certainly make a statement, don't they?
They make a very large statement. So there hasn't been much action outside of the Reebok TR Lights. And then now you basically just see people wear Vans or Converse, or now more recently, Barefoot is making more of a splash. They have the wider foot.
I don't have a couple guys at the gym now.
They have them, and I think they look great. But
Yep.
I'm still rocking the TR lights, so it's hard to say I need another pair right now when those things are still kicking, you know. So, with all that being said, though, there was a new competitor in the mix here, and that competitor is from Adidas, and the shoe is called Adidas, and the shoe is called the Total. Like, get it? Powerlifting Total. You see what they're doing here?
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird because it doesn't look like you can really find it in America. Like, if you Google it, you can find pictures of it. And have you seen the pictures at all?
Yeah, I've seen that picture.
It's
pretty much.
it's a low top. It's hard to tell because in the picture the midsole still looks somewhat substantial. Like as far as
that's what I thought. Like
it still seems like it's a little thick, but it could also be sometimes that is part of the design. Like the midsole goes up higher, like your foot sits lower in it, so it might not be quite as thick as it looks there. But I mean, I think it's a modern, attractive looking shoe. I wouldn't have any problem wearing that in the gym. It's got a strap over the midfoot, and I mean, it looks cool, but it's not showing up on Adidas America website. Really, the only person talking about this thing or having information on it is Ben Pollock. He's put a review on his YouTube channel about this, and he had a post on Instagram about it too. So he's got a pair somehow. I think maybe there's a retailer or two in America that seems to have these, but I'd be curious to see what the deal with these things are.
Yeah.
It's kind of is surprising that you get companies like Nike and Adidas that have almost unlimited resources that they just don't have more shoes that fit the mix here.
The sales volume must just be so little.
It's got to be so
like,
low.
It doesn't. We don't.
And they must just think, no, we make CrossFit shoes. So if you want it, you just go for the CrossFit shoe.
Yeah. All right. We'll try to get our guest one more time here. Give it a shot. A little college try.
Strike two. Baseball, nice.
It all circles back here, doesn't it?
Really relate to that.
Yeah, it all comes back, doesn't it?
I was telling you, it's been a few years since I've been to. This is the first professional sporting event I've been to since COVID started. So what, 2-ish years? I wasn't for sure what the price of an adult beverage was at a so at a Twins game. Bud Light, $10. Light beer, $10. That's about what I expected. That didn't surprise me that much. A lot of seltzers were $15. So a 15 for a seltzer seems like, really? I guess there is like 1.5% more alcohol or 1% more alcohol, but 15 seems like a lot. Like, that seems like you're capitalizing on that situation.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and then mostly any beer that is like a more local type beer, craft beer, $15. So, yeah, those add up in a hurry, but ain't something I do every weekend, so I took advantage of it.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm down with that logic though too.
Yeah.
We've talked about that, and that makes sense. That makes sense to me to think of it that way. But man, $15 is
a hefty price.
That is a hefty price.
Yeah, they ain't giving those things away.
Maybe this is a good time to talk about the chargeback story that I've had on the list for a while.
This is. I'm kind of going to learn something here too, because it's been just long enough since I've been aware of the finer details of this.
And it has been a little while, so I'm just going to refresh myself as we go. But this is almost like a rant segment, or did we have a name for a segment like this at one point in time?
Well, didn't you say something about this really grinds my?
Yeah,
you said this really grinds the knurling off my Ohio Power Bar.
Texas Power Bar.
Texas Power Bar.
Yeah. That's what this will be called.
You know
what really grinds the knurling off my Texas Power Bar? There. So that's kind of. That's not a real.
Intro.
That's not a real catchy segment.
Like we'll just like put. No. Okay. Then you say.
You know what really grinds the knurling off my Texas Power Bar?
Yeah, and the crowd goes crazy. Okay.
Dispute claims on us sending shit out to people that order stuff. So this has happened. Let me preface this with the tens of thousands of orders that we've shipped out. This has now happened once. So it's not a recurring thing.
So that's less than 1%, I'm pretty sure.
I think that checks out. It's a fractional percent of a percent. And what happened? So I'll give you the details, and we'll leave this up to the court of public opinion.
It's kind of what we're into lately.
Yeah, right. So what happened is a gal from out on the West Coast ordered a shirt from us. Which shirt it was, I don't exactly remember. Not pertinent to the story. It was a one shirt order though. This year, over the last couple of years, sometimes shipping is relatively slow. Sometimes it's pretty reliable and
And
quick.
we're not saying the fulfillment part of
No.
us packing the order. Like the order is almost always packed in less than 24 hours. A lot of times it was packed in less than 12 hours.
Yeah.
But
And
it was the actual USPS
Right.
delivery.
And
And
it was
if you've
USPS.
lived in the world in the last 2 years, you know that delivery times are just jacked up on everything.
Yeah, and I can say for sure it was fulfilled at least this soon. Say she ordered on a Thursday, anytime during the day. The order was fulfilled on the Friday and was in the mail system by the Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that's reasonable. That's good. You know, that's reasonably
Within
good.
48 hours
Right,
for sure.
Right. Within 48 hours, it's moving in the system even. And I would say within about just under a week, she had emailed and said, and she wasn't nice about it. And she said, my order's not here yet. What's going on? Basically, that was it. This is under a week. And I said, here's the tracking for it. Looks like the tracking does say through the USPS that this package is going to take longer than expected, but it is on the way. Like it says almost verbatim that. Anyone listening has probably seen that before on an order. And it's not the first time someone's ever asked me about that. So that's usually what I say. It's like, it says it's on the way.
And we don't have some special hidden access.
No,
to,
like people are like,
everyone.
what can you see?
Yeah, everyone gets the same tracking code. Like we don't have some backdoor tracking code.
No. So, and I try to have good customer service on things like this. And I let people know, if we'll help you watch it. You also stay in communication. Let me know what you see. I'll be tracking it also. If I'm not giving up hope yet, historically what I've seen based on past orders is this is going to get there. When that's the message that USPS puts on it, it does usually still get there. They'll say something different if that's the case, but it is going to take longer and it's not out of the normal. This is what we've seen through the USPS sometimes. We do our best to fulfill it as quick as possible, but that's what we're dealing with.
And if you go on their website, they have disclaimers all over the
Yes.
place. Like shipping
Yes.
times are not normal.
Yeah. And I don't think there was never another piece of communication. Actually,
No, it wasn't just
there was. She just responded back like that she was going to file a.
I
or
believe,
maybe I just got maybe she never said anything.
I think the way I remember, because this people
Yeah.
might be like, why don't you guys remember? I think this was like 6 months ago.
It is. It was. Yeah.
I think what you said, she said, I will be requesting a chargeback.
That's right.
And then you said, or I will be requesting a chargeback unless you refund my money.
That's
and you're
what
like,
it was.
I can't refund your money. No one has the package yet. I
Right,
can't
right.
refund it until you get it.
And this has been in a very reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
Like we're
And
talking like 7-8 days.
And that's pretty
so-
standard everywhere. Like
Yeah.
it's not lost in the mail. It's coming.
Yeah.
Just if you want a refund, people want refunds. Just
Yeah,
say
send it back.
Just send it back.
And
once
what
we know it's back, we'll gladly give you your money. That happens.
And if there's a defect, if even if there's not, if you just
Just
have
decide
decided
you
you
don't
don't
want
want
it,
it
yeah.
and you haven't worn and or washed it, that's what I
Yep.
always say. If it hasn't been worn and or washed, send it back. Once we get it, we'll give you a refund for that item.
yes, and I believe you said that you explained that policy to her,
Yeah.
and her response was chargeback requested.
Yeah.
And then I remember you asking me like, "What is this?" And I go, "I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what she's getting at here."
Yeah.
And then was it like 2 days later we got the notification?
Email from basically through our payment processor saying that her bank had requested the chargeback to our payment processor and their standard procedure. And this is what all of them do is our payment processor pays that upon request. Like it's apparently like true of
No questions asked.
no question asked. They pay it plus a fee. So not only did our payment processor take our money to give her a full refund,
So let's just say it was $32.
$32
after shipping.
then they also charged us like $20 because of this.
Because of the chargeback.
Yeah, like a fee. And then it was they said if you have a dispute with this dispute, fill out the form, send it in.
And wasn't it even this chargeback came through? Like she said, requesting a chargeback. We got the notification for the chargeback, and then it was like the next day the package arrived?
It was a few more days than one, but that is what happened.
It was
then
within
it got
days,
there.
yeah.
And I said, hey, I see the trend, because I was monitoring it, and I said,
yeah. So at this point, she got a free T-shirt.
yeah.
It cost us $30. I mean, we gave her the shirt for free now. And then on top of that, we got charged a fine. And then we have now been notified that we have a chargeback to our name.
Right. And she got the shirt within, I would say, 10 days, maybe 14, you know, if it was a little more extreme. And that was with us fulfilling it almost, you know, within a day or within 24, 36 hours, something like that. And I filed the dispute with them, and they said it was denied, that we can't do it. And I'm like, what? And then that's it. And then also they even like really specifically say like, yeah, you only have one chance to dispute this, and the case is closed with our final decision. And I'm like, what the frick is going on? I'm like, what is going on with that? And I'm still puzzled by the whole thing. And it's not a big deal. We're talking like $50. $50 doesn't matter. But I'm like, man, what if someone's selling a
pair of lift shorts here?
Right. Or like you're selling a $1,000 item online, and someone goes through that process, and
they just say, no, charge back. This one's on the house.
Well, I am confused by that process, and I guess I've never done it personally. There's probably people out there that have had good reasons to do that before. And I have heard, the little bit I looked up, people do, if you do that too much, your bank, becomes privy if you have a history of doing that. And
I've heard some people say I've used very little eBay in my day.
Okay.
Just very, very occasionally I might have something like electronic or something to sell, but I have heard people say that is one of the perils of eBay, is that they're so in favor of buyers that basically if the buyer has any problem, any issue whatsoever, like they can get all of your money and the item, and you're just screwed. And eBay's like, nope, better luck next time.
Well, that's what happened to us in this scenario. I'm like, we sent you the thing. We sent it timely. The USPS was just a little slow. And like, if you would have been unhappy with it, we still would have refunded you money. We would have just asked that you sent it back.
Yeah. And now not only did you,
but that's a black eye on our record, too, because like, if you get too many of those, that, that your payment processor could say, yeah, we're not going to allow you to do business through us anymore.
Yeah. It is really messed up how that goes. And on top of that, the person gets to keep the damn thing too.
And me, I probably get too stuck on the principle of things sometimes. See the golf ball saga for a great example, where I'm just couldn't care less about the money in that scenario. Really, it's more so just like, how is this happen? Like, this is not justice.
Yeah. How is this person's word better than mine?
Right.
And they have nothing to back it up with.
Right. I just am just so annoyed at the lack of.
And we're the ones that got to pick up the slack here.
Right.
We're the ones with the strike against our name.
And I'm sure, people that sell retail a lot probably have a lot of similar stories of this sort of thing. It's the first experience we've had.
Yeah, luckily we don't have shitty customers.
That's part of the thing. Like, as we've grown, we've sold, in the last year and a half, we've sold things to this, we've casted this much wider net for purchasers of our shirts and other apparel items that it used to be.
Yeah.
And it's not just podcast fans, and it's not just Instagram followers, and
just people that saw the shirt online, like, I'll buy that shirt.
Yeah, like that don't even know our names or what we look like, or it's just a company, it's just a brand, it's just a shirt.
They probably
that
don't know
buying.
how to say Massenomics.
No, right. And not that we're not happy to sell to people like that, but it just opens the door more for stuff like this, because if someone knows us and knows our other stuff, they're going to be like, oh, I'll just these guys seem like fair dudes. if I have a problem, they'll probably work that out with me.
There was a thread missing on the shirt, or the print wasn't perfect. Like, hey man, we didn't do that because we hate you. It's sometimes things go wrong in the production process.
Yes. And we'll make that right with you.
Yeah. Just tell us and we'll do it. Like, you don't got to be pissed about everything. In fact, that usually works against you in these scenarios. Yes.
And I would say overall, we're really fortunate. I think my initial reaction on the customer service is always just to try and be helpful right off the back, and like assure them that, we're going to try, we're going to do what it takes to make it right with you. Because, and I will say, I've had to swallow my pride on that a number of times, where even I'll send still 90% of them are not even real issues. They're not problematic. It's like, yeah, we screwed something up. There's something was screwed up. We'll fix it, make it right. But 10% of them are where it's like, oh, this person really like, I don't fundamentally agree with what they're, what their issue is here. I don't think this is an issue.
And yeah, after you do enough t-shirts, not even t-shirts, just items in general, Tanner, some of the items you bring up to me, people having complaints about, I'm like, really? I feel like I have a pretty particular eye. And some of these things, man, they are really particular here.
Yeah. And what I do on essentially 100% of those cases is just bite my tongue and just, it's at the end of the day, it's like, let's just make this person happy. They'll buy from us again someday. And then they're happy and they don't have, let's not give anyone a reason to say something bad about us, even if we think what they're saying is, wrong. Maybe
even if what we know they're saying is wrong.
Yes. Right. It's just not a good look to get people complaining about your brand, I don't think. And we kind of avoid that, except unless they're just complaining about prices.
And when we're also seeing that a lot of the tools in place are designed to not work in our favor.
Yeah. And going back to that, it's a baffling system to me.
And so, yeah, we have like, that's just like case closed. There's nothing.
There's
right?
nothing else to do about that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of those things you would never think that is the way that works. But it is. Here we are.
Yeah. Here we are.
Chargebacks and golf balls, baby.
And sticking to my fundamentals. And I guess if you didn't know, we are abandoning the guest for this episode.
Yeah.
That's correct. I wonder if we should play Overrated, Underrated.
Oh.
This would be a little on the spot version of Overrated,
Okay,
Underrated.
okay.
And I'm just thinking about some things. Okay. First topic. Overrated or underrated? Tom Cruise.
Okay. All right. I'm thinking here now. Okay. Well, okay. We didn't talk about this. We didn't talk about this.
Yeah.
You saw Top Gun and enjoyed it a lot.
And that's what I was just saying.
I have not seen Top Gun yet.
Did I tell you what I thought of it, or did I told you?
Yes, you said you loved it.
Did I talk about that on the podcast? I might.
No,
have.
we actually
Okay.
didn't. That's what I was going to say.
Okay.
We talked about it in the gym parking lot one day.
Yes.
Before lifting, but we
Training,
we never talked about it on the podcast, which is kind of funny. Oh, and along these same lines, you saw your old car, and we didn't talk about that either.
Oh, the Buick.
We got to talk about that.
Yeah, that's all part of one central story there, isn't it?
Okay, so we got to remember to come back to this. So mental note, come back to the movie theater and the Buick and the movie. Okay. I'm trying to think of the last Tom Cruise movie I actually saw. I will admit, I'm not the best at watching movies. I kind of suck at it.
There's been semi-recent Mission Impossible movies, right?
Yep, haven't watched any of those. I'm actually really struggling to think of the last Tom Cruise movie I actually
What about
saw.
Minority Report?
Nope, never saw that one either.
That's
old though.
Yeah, I know.
That's from, Minority. Isn't that from like the early 2000s?
Yeah.
It's like, he was in a recent movie, The Last Samurai.
That's a good movie.
Have
you seen The Last Samurai?
I've seen most of it. I've never seen the whole thing.
The Last Samurai. I watched that recently for the first time, like within the last few years. Very good movie.
I feel like that was one where when I was a kid, there was a while where we had HBO, when HBO was just part of cable, and it would just play like movies nonstop. And I think The Last Samurai was one of those movies that played nonstop. So I kind of always saw it, but never saw like the whole thing.
The Last Samurai is really good. I mean, it's up there for my Tom Cruise. What about Days of Thunder?
Nope.
You've never seen that?
Nope. What even is that one?
He's a NASCAR racer. It came out. Yeah.
Really?
You like racing?
I do.
Yeah, Days of Thunder. It came out not too long. I don't know how many years after Top Gun, the original Top Gun. And it's almost...
The original Top Gun was in the 80s.
Like 91 or 90 or something like... Yeah, no, Days of Thunder is old. It came out in like 90...
I thought you were saying it was in the last couple of years.
I'm just saying Days of Thunder is worth a watch.
Okay.
It's basically... To me, what they did is they took Top Gun and they said...
Let's...
Top Gun, but race cars.
Okay.
Top Gun works so good.
Yeah.
Top Gun, but race cars.
Right, I need to watch that then.
It's not as good as Top Gun, but it's still it's worth a watch in my opinion. I like it.
Yeah.
It's nostalgic.
Man, that's actually really making me think. What Tom Cruise movies have I?
What
ever seen in
about?
my
Is
life?
there like War of the Worlds? Is he in that? Or like
yeah,
one of
yeah.
that might not be the right title, but like something
I
where
think-
it's
Yep, I think you're right. With like the aliens kind of.
yeah.
I did see that one, and I do remember seeing Mission Impossible 2 because I remember I was in like probably 5th or 6th grade, and Metallica had the song come out.
Right.
Then it's time I disappear, and it still plays on the iPod at the gym all the time.
Yeah.
Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, that one. God.
What about You Had Me at Hello? Jerry Maguire.
No, I've never seen that.
You've
either.
never seen that?
I've never seen it. No. I'm just realizing I've basically never seen a Tom Cruise
For
movie
like
in my life. Essentially,
you know, I'm not a fan of rom-com.
yeah, I'm not either.
You know, like whatever, but
That's-
I don't know.
that's a pretty
I think
iconic
Jerry
one.
Maguire is pretty good.
It's up there.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
You really haven't seen
I
very
haven't
many.
seen Tom
Have you
Cruise.
seen the original Top Gun?
No,
Oh,
no, I've never seen the original Top Gun either.
the original Top Gun is good.
That's why I haven't gotten to the new one yet. Because I'm like, I
Yeah,
feel like
you-
I have
you-
to see the original,
I
just on the principle of
For
it. You
sh-
know.
you definitely should watch the original before.
Yeah. So I was telling my wife, I'm like, we need to go to this, but we got to see the original before we go.
For sure, I would watch it like the night before, even because
So,
it really would set the stage.
this
That's
is-
what I did, even, and I've seen it a few times. But
This is almost kind of weird to me how few Tom Cruise movies I've ever seen in my life.
maybe what if you've never seen? Have you ever seen a Tom Cruise movie?
Well, yeah, I told you the War of the Worlds or whatever. that
Oh,
was.
okay.
I remember
So you've
seeing
seen
that
one.
I just have to see what some of his movies are. I know I've seen Mission Impossible 2. Haven't seen the first one. I haven't seen.
You haven't seen the first Mission Impossible?
No, I haven't seen Jack Reacher. I
Oh,
haven't seen
yeah.
The Mummy. I haven't seen the new Mission Impossible. I haven't seen Risky Business. Oh, Edge of Tomorrow is really good. Have you seen Edge of Tomorrow? That one is really good. It's where it's like kind of like a Groundhog Day, where he's like a soldier
Okay.
in the future, and every day is the same. He just like he dies, but then the day's the same. It starts out so it's like he tries to see how far he can get without dying.
Okay.
I would highly recommend that movie. That was very good. I've never seen all of The Outsiders. I've seen parts of it. I've never seen American Made.
Have you seen A Few Good Men?
I've seen Eyes Wide Shut. I've
Okay,
never seen
yeah.
I've never seen all of A Few Good
A
Men.
Few Good Men is good too.
I've never seen Rain Man.
Oh,
I'm just
Dang.
never seen.
Rain Man is good
I've
too.
never seen Vanilla Sky. Tom Cruise is in Tropic Thunder.
I didn't know. I questioned that myself too.
Yeah.
There must be something.
Haven't seen
in there.
Interview with a Vampire. Boy, Valkyrie. Have not seen that one. Haven't seen The Firm. I have seen Magnolia. Magnolia's a good movie. Tom Cruise has a pretty small part in that one though. So yeah, I've basically never hardly seen Tom Cruise
Yeah.
movies. Wow.
I don't know if you're really qualified to answer this. But
That's really weird how one of the
Yeah.
biggest movie stars of all time, and I've seen like 3 of his
Yeah.
movies. And maybe not even like ones he's really known
and
for.
as if
even.
we sit here today, is he the hottest movie star
well,
right now?
this
You
year
know,
probably.
for sure, right?
Yeah. And with all that being said, I think I'm going to say he's overrated.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair. You know, it's probably it's hard to even say underrated because he is. You
Yeah,
know,
like
what he is.
Tom Cruise. The problem is he just doesn't get enough credit. nowadays.
Right. I loved the new Top Gun movie. I haven't been to a movie in the movie theaters for years, and Jack, my son and I, he's 10, and he really wanted to go.
So did he watch the original?
We watched the original with
he
me the
watched
night
it too?
before,
Okay.
and it was sold out. The next we went to go to one, it was sold out. The next one was sold out. The next one was sold out, and then finally there was one that had like one set of seats in the very front row and the very side that we got, the very corner that we got to go. And I'm like, all right, I want to see it. And
Yep.
the fact that it's sold, and this is like 4 weeks after the movie's been out.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it when you were telling me that.
And everyone that was in line was there to try and get sold out tickets for this movie. And I'm like, talk to the guy. I'm like, man, this is crazy. He's like, yeah, there's never been anything like this since I've been working here. And as I was sitting there, we got to our seat, and I was thinking, how is this so popular? Like weeks and weeks after.
We live in a small town.
Yeah.
How many people can just go to the movie over and over and still fill
then
it up?
the thing that hit me is we had gotten there relatively early to watch the previews, because I'm like, if I'm spending the money on the tickets, I
get
want
the full
to get it all. We're getting this. We're going to be here a long time. And me, 35, my son, 10, both super excited for this movie. Then the empty seat next to us walks in this couple, the man like on a walker, no less than 85 years old, coming to go sit in the front row because probably the only seats he could get in the house. And I'm like, okay, that's why it's sold out because
you do say,
from 10 to 90, all of us really want to see this.
And also 30 years ago, first one came out, like, this guy.
Yeah, that guy was probably 50.
Yeah,
he was like,
right.
He's
a guy that's going to the movies.
Right. So, it just spans
Crosses all generations.
Right. And that's kind of what my realization was on that is it just hits such a broad audience.
People
that
like
could be interested
airplanes and action movies. So
and it's got like a little, it's a patriotic-ish.
People really go for that around here.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not Saving Private Ryan or whatever, but it's, there's like, it does have that feel. And the planes thing is cool. And God, it's a good movie. I wanted to go into it thinking like, everyone's wrong, like
be jaded.
Right. I'm like, it's not that good. Like movies aren't that good. It's, it's waste of money to go to the movie theaters.
Just a good old action movie delivered on the action.
It's really good, man. I do not go to any movies in the movie theater, and I could justify going to that. I would pay to go to that a second time, probably.
All right. Well,
and maybe it just hit something for me that you'll be like, it wasn't that good. But
no, I
especially in the theater, that is one where I'm like,
that's what action movies are made for. They are made for like big screen, big sound, like. And if the whole thing,
if I could argue something, I'm not talking any specifics, of course, but you could almost say it's like too perfect. It's too
right.
The storyline is a little too,
it's just too good.
It's like, that's what the movie is, though. Like that's that's the way that goes. And one interesting takeaway, not about the movie specifically, even, but I thought it was interesting. Like before the movie started, they roll this thing of Tom Cruise. And it's not him as Maverick. It's him. Just Tom Cruise sitting in a chair talking candid, it's supposed to look like it's a really candid bit of him saying something. And he's like, talks about how like this is so many years in the making and how he's really excited and they put a lot of work into it. And
this is before it starts?
Before the movie even starts. Yeah.
And it's supposed to be actually Tom Cruise.
It just is Tom Cruise. Okay. Yeah. It's not an actor. It's just him talking to the audience. And like, how they work so hard on it and they love it and they think you're going to really enjoy it. And then he's like, and we really appreciate you coming to the movie theater to watch this as we intended. Like that was like the central theme of this speech or like the closing part of this little speech. And I'm just like, kind of realizing how that how much that, how the streaming thing has changed that business model. And like how if you're a giant movie star like Tom Cruise, you're like, no, I want that money from the...
Yes, his life still has... his livelihood still does.
Yeah,
I mean, really...
Livelihood.
His income that he's generating does depend on people getting butts in the seats, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
I just thought it was interesting that they made such a point to have about that message.
Remember those days watching things on your couch? Don't do that anymore.
But I can say going to that was a thing where I'm like, okay, I was no longer thinking there was value in going to the movie theater personally because I'm like, I can stream it all at home. Yeah. I watched that movie and I did kind of think, okay, there's something. And now that our movie theater's nice, that helps.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Like, one of the last movies I saw before, it feels like almost no movies have come out in the last 2 years,
Yeah.
But what was it? The war one, like 19...
Yeah, where it's like one continuous shot.
Whatever. Yeah. I went to that, and I think we talked about it on the podcast. I went to it in another city's theater that had a nice theater, and that was so much fun. Like, the anxiety in like war when it's not stopping and it doesn't give a break. Oh, that was awesome. So yeah, action movies in the theater. I'd still say, if we're playing overrated, underrated there, I'd say that's underrated severely still.
I think that's good. That's a good call.
But yeah, we should keep going overrated, underrated. Okay. We'll come back to the Buick though.
Okay. Yeah. Good part.
Unless you had anything else for Top Gun still.
No, I'm not talking specifics about the movie because if you haven't seen it, my recommendation is just to see it. I feel bad if I hype it up and you think differently, but man, I came home and I told my wife is not all that into that sort of movies, and I'm like, you have to go watch it. I'm like, I want you to watch it, and you just try and tell me you didn't like it. I will fight you to the death if you think that wasn't good.
Like not be entertained. Like, hey, you don't need to come away with some deeper
understanding
and you're not.
Of life it's here, not that,
but that's
at all.
not what this movie is. Like, understand what you're getting yourself into.
Yep.
Here.
Yes, for sure. So that's it on Top Gun.
Okay.
Would recommend. Overrated and underrated Kias.
Oh, okay. I actually think Kias are probably pretty underrated. So we live in a part of the country where our state probably has one Kia dealership in the whole state, I would guess. Probably Sioux Falls is it.
That's it.
Is it? Do you actually know that?
I
was going to say
that's
maybe,
our closest.
Okay,
I know that the closest Kia dealerships are Fargo and Sioux Falls.
Right. Okay.
But maybe Rapid City has one.
So we might have 2 Kia dealerships in the whole country or in the whole state. I think I was actually looking. I'm not in the market to buy a car, but Kia made. You could get a Kia Stinger GT, and it was I think it was like a twin turbo V6, I don't know, it was like 400 horsepower, and it was a 4-door, and it had a hatchback too. I mean, it looked like a sedan, but it had a hatch in the back, and I'm like, that is a banging car. Like that is, and to get that car from BMW or Mercedes or Audi, you're paying. I think from Kia you could get that
more.
Oh yeah, I think for Kia at one point, they couldn't really sell them, so I think you could get them under $40,000, new, and that was before the car thing got all messed up.
Right.
A comparable car like that from a German company would be 60 to 70 easy, know? And I thought the styling was spot on. Honestly, looking at it, I'm like, the only reason this car isn't.
It's because it says Kia on it.
It's the Kia in the front. And
that's it. That is literally it, though,
Kia
isn't it?
does, they did have.
They had a really bad rap for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Probably deservedly so.
Yes, that I had a couple friends in high school that had a Kia.
And were those the mice driving in the car? You remember those commercials?
Yeah, I think it was the Kia Soul, wasn't it?
Well, I think maybe, yeah.
And it's confusing because Kia and Hyundai are kind of the same thing. They're both the South Korean car company. And so a lot of their cars are the Kia Telluride, that looks like a cool SUV. And then there's the...
Yes, okay, the Telluride.
Yeah, the Telluride looks cool. And Hyundai has, it's the Palisade, I think is their version of it.
Okay.
And the body's just slightly different, but the car's 98% the same.
Yeah.
I think you'd be hard pressed to pull up to somewhere in a Kia Telluride and people say, no, that car doesn't look good.
That's lame. That's a Kia.
Yeah.
The Telluride looks
people might
nice.
say that's lame. It's a Kia.
Yeah.
But they really
okay. So yeah, it's a Kia. Look at tell me specifically besides that.
The styling's pretty good. And if you notice, if you're paying attention, Kia has gone through a bit of a rebranding to where now their logo looks like a KN.
Yeah.
But it does get rid of a little bit of that generic just KIA inside a circle, which maybe didn't do the most for them either. And people probably associate that badge with this cheap, generic knockoff thing. So I think it was the right move to rebrand. Whether it's the best logo or not, that's to be seen. But when you see that new logo on some of the new cars, it's oh, this looks pretty good actually.
It does.
And then they have, I'm pretty sure it's Kia. Their luxury line is Genesis, and I've heard really good things about Genesis cars. I've never been in one. I've seen a few around, but I think Kia's.
I don't know
underrated.
if I've ever been in a Kia.
Actually, if you look around, there's a few Kias in town, not many, and they have some pretty cool things going on with their headlights too. Where they, it's not just a headlight, and everyone kind of has the LEDs now. Most cars that aren't maybe the very cheapest ones have some type of signature LED, but I think it's the new. They got rid of the Optima, and I think now it's the K6 they call it. And the headlight comes down in this line and kind of goes back up and around, and it almost looks like this really futuristic thing. Doesn't look like anything like Ford or GM or any of them are doing. So I think their styling's pretty good. And I also think that they offer, I think on some of their newer cars, it's something like a 10-year, 100,000 mile warranty. So it's something crazy like that.
I know. So I'm pretty interested in the Tellurides actually. My wife drives an Explorer, and at some point in time we'll probably upgrade just to we like her vehicle.
And the Explorer's not a bad vehicle.
No, and she likes it, and we have had really good luck like that. But at some point in time, we'll just upgrade to something maybe a little bit newer, a little less miles. And I'm historically I really like Ford GM stuff. It's just what I've had. And I've said Ford or GM.
And there's dealers. Everyone around here knows how to work on them.
Right.
So it's it's a safe bet.
But the more I've looked at these, this Kia Telluride, I'm I am pretty interested in that.
They look cool.
And they do look really cool. Their warranty, so on a new Telluride, it's 5 year, 60,000 mile on everything, but then 100,000 mile on powertrain or something like that. So there you go, 5 years, 60,000 miles, where it's no, this is good to go. Whatever happens, we're good. And it's on a new one. And, whether I'd buy a new vehicle or something, that would be maybe not. But anyways, just from someone that would have been, I would say a Kia. I'd be no. The more I've looked into it, I'm that's actually an interesting vehicle. And the interesting part to me, is exactly what you said about that car you were talking about. The price difference for the comparable thing across other brands of a similar year, and it's so significant.
Yep. If you start looking at, not body on frame SUVs, like you're not talking like Suburbans, Tahoes, Expeditions. Like you're starting to look at, but like because it's a 3-row, right?
Yes.
So
yeah,
start looking at 3-row SUVs, and then you want something that doesn't look like you want something that doesn't look like a van,
Ford Explorer.
Which I think Chevy.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with Chevy, but man, some of there's actually, to me, all of their styling on like their crossovers is off.
Right.
I do not like it.
Yeah,
It's
I know what
bad.
you mean.
We have a Tahoe. It's fine. Like it's got more of a boxy, menacing look, I guess you could say, tougher look. But man, their crossovers are like, let's take a minivan and just elongate that hood enough to say it's not a minivan anymore.
Yeah.
So I think they're missing hard on those. But Kia, they're bringing the style. And then so you start looking at other options like, oh, you want something stylish? All right, you start looking at the German companies now, and you're paying money for those things.
Even if you go to say like Nissan or Toyota, they're still significantly more expensive.
Are they really more than Kia?
Yeah, I think like a Path. If I say like a Pathfinder, I don't know if that was Nissan still makes, or I don't even know.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, okay. It's just price wise, from just my very little bit that I know. Maybe I'm off on this, but there's still a significant.
And Toyota, they like have that reliability thing to their name, so you pay a premium on that too.
Yep.
If you can get it new, you might be okay, but sometimes I think people hype up that reliability thing too much, because like, how many people actually keep a vehicle for 10 years, 100,000?
Almost
miles?
nobody does.
Yeah, like
I actually do.
Oh,
but
I'm saying no one does that.
We
like,
both do.
Yeah, like we're both driving vehicles that we bought.
I've had mine for like 12 years.
I have my Chevy Malibu. It's a 2009, and I bought it in 2011. I bought it with like 33,000 miles on it, and I have 93 on it. And over the course of 11 years.
That's funny because I have a 2009 Chevy Silverado that I bought in 2011.
So it's the exact same
and
thing.
it had 22,000 miles on it, and now it has almost 80,000. Mm-hmm. So we are the very rare people. We actually do keep a vehicle for like over a decade, but normal people don't do that.
But even then, it's like, okay, so I had the GM vehicle. I've had to put like
right.
Yeah, if I had a Toyota, sure. I think Toyota makes nice vehicles, but I'm not out any reliability bucks here.
Right.
The things I've had to replace are like tires and like a battery.
Yeah,
and,
stuff that just happens.
It's just like, that's like standard maintenance. Like I still wouldn't have seen the benefit of this because I don't drive it enough to see, oh, no, the powertrain lasted me 200,000 miles. But I think Kia is underrated though.
Okay, that's good. It is the 4th of July. Underrated or overrated fireworks?
I think fireworks are underrated. When I was a kid, man, there was nothing better than to have your parents give you hopefully $100.
Oh, love
and
it.
Just
loved it as a kid.
Save for you'd go to to your aunt and uncles that lived out in the country, and they'd be before you'd go, they'd give you. I didn't even know how much it cost. It was like money didn't make sense in my head then.
Right.
And it's just like, whoa, we got all these fireworks.
Yeah.
And you'd show up and they just say, go, get out of here. And you'd go nuts. You'd be with your Roman candles and your bottle rockets and just sparklers and doing crazy shit with them and smoke bombs. And the fun never ended. Firecrackers thrown in places. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Yeah, I loved it as a kid. They're not as fun now.
No, they're not as fun as adults. But it's one of those. It's the magic. It's the kids. It's for the kids.
And they are way overpriced and everything. And so I take Jack. Every year. The last 3-4 years when he's been old enough to appreciate it, and he loves it. Part of the experience is going to the store.
Oh, just seeing
and just shop and be like, I'll give him a budget and be like, here's your budget. And we spend almost as much time at the store as we do shooting the fireworks, because it's like I like to see him have to do the math, be like, and make the decisions like, yeah, I could get
this one really big thing,
right? Or do I get these, and just
10
letting
more packs of Roman candles,
right. So I enjoy that, watching him go through that process of it. And she'll be like, why did we just spend $200 on? And I'm like, you don't necessarily get it. Yeah, right. It's there's just something about that as a memory though that's worth it. And I think as a kid, fireworks are pretty cool.
Yeah, they are. Dude, along the same lines of as a kid, it was crazy hot here today, and I'm thinking dude, running through a sprinkler, that's so lame. How did I ever think that was fun as a kid? And all of a sudden we got the hose out spraying it around.
Yep.
My boy's 2 years old, and as far as he was concerned, that was maybe the
funnest
one of the
thing
coolest things he's
did.
ever done. Like
Yeah.
he could not get over how much fun it was to get sprayed by the hose. And I'm
Yep.
like, man, this is awesome. This is good stuff.
Speaking of a weather update, it has been pretty blistering hot.
It was very warm today.
It's almost not the heat that gets you, though. It's the humidity.
Actually, today was both of them.
Yeah, it was like 100, wasn't it?
It was like choking you out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You're getting it. The heat and the humidity.
Yeah, little combo pack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
1-2 punch.
So overrated or underrated fruit roll-ups, or fruit by the foot. There's a difference there, and you've got your druthers.
Aren't they both? What is the difference? Fruit roll up or fruit by the foot? Wait, aren't
so
they
a
both
fruit roll-up, picture it as a small sheet of paper.
Oh,
when you unroll
it. Okay.
A fruit roll, and a lot of times there'll be like cut out things that you could like
pop them out.
Yeah, that's a fruit roll-up, and you know what fruit by the foot is?
Fruit by the foot. I was thinking of it's like a tape, like a long piece of tape. Kind of.
Yeah.
Wow, I could not think of.
Yeah.
This
it took me a second as I was thinking of
taking my brain to.
And I came up with that one just as we were talking. I'm like, I think I haven't had either of those for.
So my parents would never buy fruit by the foot.
Fruit by the foot.
Fruit by the foot. We never. I feel like that was like a rich person thing, and I don't know why. The fruit by the foot felt like it was unattainable. Like,
do they still make that?
I would assume they have to, right? That brand's too strong to not exist, isn't it?
I assume. I don't know.
Yeah, we never.
Maybe
had
it's made by the
foot.
same company.
Very, very, very rarely we'd have fruit roll-ups. Not often, but we'd have fruit roll-ups once in a while. But in my head, Gushers and fruit by the foot were like the thing of like, oh, those were like the good snacks.
Gushers are a good one there, yeah.
Like those are the ones. It's like, oh, you got the fancy stuff over here. You got the Gushers and the fruit by the foot.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this when we would get stuff from the Schwanzman all the time, which I feel like costs way more than any of those boxes of when those
Gushers
boxes,
is a good call on that though too. Yeah.
Gushers. So we were always more of the little. I think we've talked about this. The Little Debbie family. We had like Swiss cakes. Swiss cake rolls,
brownies,
the cosmic brownies, the zebra cakes, and oatmeal cream pies. Like we had those.
What about
things.
the Swiss cake roll?
Yeah, Swiss cake rolls too.
You said that. Yeah.
So we had way more of those than we ever had of like fruit roll-ups or any of that other stuff.
Okay.
Pop-Tarts too. We had Pop-Tarts, but
more of the confectionery sweets.
we were way more on that side of things. But what was the original question though? If
you could say fruit roll up or fruit by the foot, or you could grade them separately.
I mean, when you're a kid, those things are pretty awesome, but I too think looking back, those are pretty overrated. Like it's the most thinly pressed piece of sugar, fruit flavored sugar, and then you kind of chew on it. Yeah, I think they're overrated.
Yeah.
As a kid though, there's no way I would have said overrated. As a kid, you'd love that shit. It was amazing.
Yeah. I'd be interested to have one and see. Be like, does this taste good?
How they hold up?
Yeah. Because what is that then? It's just, like what you said, it's just like sugar, like gelatin, like sugar.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a fruit snack in a different shape almost.
They had a way of making those taste pretty good though, didn't they?
Oh, they seemed like they were amazing then.
Yeah. So you said overrated.
I'm sure they're not that good though.
No. Gushers were pretty good. Seemed pretty good too though. Except Gushers would always happen. What I remember, they all get like clumped together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was one of them would pop and melt and they'd all kind of stick together, or if that was just how that thing was, as they all stuck.
Do you use dishwasher detergent pods?
I was gonna say the same thing, but I thought it was too far off base. Is that dishwasher pods are the same thing? One pops and they all stick together.
Dishwasher detergent pod. Yeah,
you rip them apart, and then more fall. Yeah,
it's a vicious cycle.
And then you also can't really go in with wet hands either. Because
no,
I think
you go in with wet hands once, the whole thing's screwed.
Yeah.
Then you're looking at like months of dealing with this every time you need one. Mm-hmm. But the pods are always the way to go over the not pods thing. But do you know the pods, you don't need to put it in the thing. You just throw it in the bottom of the dishwasher.
Yeah. See, I feel like that's not, I know you can do that, but in my mind, it's like, no, that's not how it goes. You can't just be throwing stuff willy-nilly, like without a care in the world. Yeah, there's a spot where the spot goes. There was a spot where the stuff goes, and it goes there for a reason.
Apparently, the argument is that it actually cleans the dishes better.
I don't know, man. Just think of that thing just sitting there. I'm like, all the water and the agitation's up here. Like, it's like the line of fire's up here and the pod's sitting in the safe zone down here.
That's
how my brain thinks of the dishwasher. But I have heard that.
Yeah, my first dishwasher, I installed it myself in my very first home. And I don't know if pods were even a thing yet, because that was back, I had the old Cascade
I'm a recent
convert.
to pods, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not use pods in my old house, and I moved to this house. And I'm like, all right, I'm in a new house. I'm a pods man now, and that was where the line in the sand happened there.
But funny the similarities between pods and gushers.
Yeah. I know. Do you use the pods for laundry?
I don't do laundry. I don't even know what we use. That's you know how much I do laundry.
Yeah,
I don't even know
what is
actually
used.
we do. On occasion I've done laundry and we do. My wife
pods?
does buy the pods.
I don't have pods for laundry. I still use detergent.
Do you use liquid or does everyone
like
use
Tide,
liquid?
like liquid-
Okay,
liquid
it's not like dry.
No.
Do people is dry a
I
thing?
don't know. Probably.
Okay, yeah, I think we use Tide pods.
Yeah, we don't do pods.
What? How come?
My wife is super picky about what we use for detergent, and I don't
Okay.
even know if the Tide, because we use Tide, it's like the free and gentle shit or whatever. So
Okay.
I don't know. That probably comes in pods. I don't know. We just don't do pods.
Yeah.
No idea why. Maybe when I get a different house someday, I'll.
Have you ever tried eating one?
God, they look so damn tasty. It's like I'm looking at a jumbo box of Gushers. Just gets me going.
Our dishwasher pods right now are in a horrible clump too.
I've
Like we both want to, everyone wants to blame the other people on being
Yeah.
responsible for like getting them in this. And I'm like, man, it's really hard to get them out. And every time it breaks open and I
this
just
whole
can't
thing-
wait.
It
I
just-
almost
shit, when
want,
you get that new box and you're like,
Yeah.
it's just like glowing and everything's so perfect.
if I wasn't as cheap as I am, I would throw it in the garbage and be like,
Yeah.
you know what? We're treating ourselves. We're getting a new box
Right.
of these.
New pods day in the house. Yeah, we've been pretty good the last several containers. They've stayed
Yeah.
pretty clean the whole way through.
Okay. Well, good news. You passed overrated, underrated.
Yeah, was that 4?
That was 4, right?
Tom
we did.
Cruise, Kia, Gushers, Did I
And
miss one?
fireworks.
Fireworks. You're right.
Yep.
You're right. Okay. God, it flew by. It only took like 40 minutes.
We haven't had a good old fashioned over
We
under
haven't.
segment.
You know, everyone else tries to rush it so much. So, okay, the Buick. You did find the Buick, though.
Yes.
And so you had this in your snap, and you sent it, and you said, "Oh, here's the Buick," and it was not looking too hot. So much so that I didn't think you were telling the truth. Like I thought you were just like, "Oh, here's
a Buick that looks like mine."
Yeah, here's another silver LeSabre,
Which
and you just
there's
said,
a couple of those around.
Oh yeah, I mean it was one of the 2 colors they made it in,
And I no lie, since I sold the Buick, have seen no less than 500 on the road and thought, is that the Buick?
but yours had something special to make it really stand
No,
out.
the way
I didn't know this.
the way
either.
I know the at the end my tires had gotten so bad, and I knew I was going to sell it. Wasn't going to pay to get new tires put on it. But at my in-laws' farm, they had these Cadillac rims and tires off of some old Cadillac that had been sitting around for like 15 years. But the tread was still good on the tires, and the rim. The pattern and size and everything was actually the same. So I'm like, oh, I don't even need to take the rim. And the rims were almost, you have to really look and be like, wait, those are Buick and these are Cadillac. Because they almost look.
It's just some classic GM parts recycling.
Right.
Like, switch out the logo. And
Yes. So I'm like, throw the Cadillac ones on. I don't even know what I did with the old Buick rims. I think I like trashed them or something because I'm like, yeah, let's get rid of this thing. And we're in the parking lot and Jack's like, hey, it's the Buick. And I'm like, how? No, and he's like, yeah, look it's got the Cadillac rims. I'm like, it is the Buick, and it has been put through the ringers. It was in nice shape when I got rid of it. It was, I mean, for what that is for a,
I mean, as good as you would expect it to be in for
right. It was pretty. I oftentimes have missed it and been like, I made a mistake.
Oh,
there.
that thing had hit several.
Yeah.
That thing had been in several incidents since you sold it.
Yeah,
Like,
the front of it, of course, the hood and the bumper was
like
all
peeled
smashed in
up.
like
Yeah.
2 different spots. The back quarter panel had been drug along something.
there's some other paint on
The
it.
other back quarter panel had a big dent in it. There was a few other things where I'm like, whoa, this is not the Buick I loved and remembered.
It just makes you wonder, like, how do some people's driving habits have, like, fender benders and things happen? Like, that's
true.
just a part of life that happens. But like, how do some people over the course of a couple of years have that many things happen to one vehicle?
I had it for, I don't know, 5+ years, drove it quite a bit.
Yeah, put a lot of miles on it.
And really never had anything happen to it. I'm just trying to remember. I don't think it had one little dent in it when I bought it, and that was still there. And otherwise, it was like in really good shape.
Yeah.
And they take it for like, it's been a couple years, I suppose.
but
And
not
it's
that
just
many. It was
beat to shit. I'm like, nobody respects Buicks these days.
nope. No, they don't. You know what Buick's #1 market in the world is?
Japan?
China.
Okay.
It's like a luxury brand.
Okay.
It's almost a
It's an
status
import.
symbol over
Yeah.
there.
That's interesting. I guess my thought process was in the right. I was in the
You
right.
weren't far off.
Yeah.
Right part of the world.
Okay.
So now you know.
I wonder if they're expensive. They're probably expensive because it's
I think
import.
they might be. And also,
Yeah.
I didn't realize this. I was watching a YouTube thing that vans are still like thought of as a luxury type vehicle. Like if you show up somewhere in a van in America, no one's like
a minivan.
Yeah, like no one's like, whoa, who's this guy? Like if you're getting that, it's for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
But like in China, they have like whole like luxury minivan segments where they'll take the middle row out, and so then the back is like just a massive recliner to like where a footrest comes up and goes to like where the middle row. So like these are major luxury vans,
right.
but like that is an actual segment in China that exists there.
You'll know this. I was talking about someone the other day, and I'm like, God, because I said I think this is a thing, and they're like, really, I've never heard of that. And then I'm like, maybe I made it up. Does Chrysler make a van with like a Hellcat van?
I don't think they do the van. So they put the Hellcat in like everything. They've done the Durango.
Yeah, I thought there was a van though. So if you haven't heard it, you might not. Maybe there's not.
They just have the Town and Country. I don't think they've done it. Like
Okay.
There's been people because Dodge's, Chrysler, their whole thing has been like, they're just putting the Hellcat in every single thing they can put it in.
Right.
And like really one of the only things they haven't put it in that they make is
the minivan,
like the Town and Country.
Right.
And so it's been sort of a joke on the internet, like, oh yeah, like the Hellcat Town and Country.
Okay.
But
And maybe I just seen jokes.
yeah,
and then
I think that it's more of a meme than anything. But yeah, because they've done it in all their cars. They just recently had you can get a Jeep Wrangler with the Hellcat in it.
Okay.
Or it might be a slightly pared down version of the Hellcat, but still, it's like a Jeep Wrangler with like way too much power. And I think the Town and Country is the only thing that I get.
So it's probably a jokes that I've seen.
Probably, yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure when we were talking about it, I'm like, I'm pretty sure
that would be actually insane though if they did. Like that would be the craziest vehicle.
If you're gonna buy a minivan, that would be.
It's hard to make fun of someone when they have a minivan that has like 750 horsepower or something.
Yes.
Yeah, that's balling.
That's baller status.
You're driving a Town and Country still, but
that's true.
It's got a Hellcat in it.
I would feel like I would want to drive. I would be like, I'll give this a try.
It'd be an exhilarating ride.
Yeah.
It'd have to be.
So what was the question? Oh, Buicks. Yep. Yeah. So the old Buick, she's alive, but barely.
Still kicking. Just hanging on though.
Yep. Is there anything else we had on today's docket?
Boy, I think we hit all the hot buttons.
We hit the highlights, so even a little bit of the lowlights. We did overrated, underrated. We talked about our supporting membership. We'd love to have you join up. We had a few more members come in this just today. There's a few that signed up.
Day for new recruits.
They said we kind of guilted them into it. So I would just also like again this week to mention,
and there was even a comment of, you guys really were not downplaying how active this place is in here.
People get in and they're just berated with welcomes.
Like we're not lying when we say it's an active community. Like it's not a sales pitch.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of shit going on in there.
The beauty of the Massenomics Discord community is everyone gets busy and you don't have time to, like, today I'm not checking what's going on in there. I can't. I've got other shit going on. But that happens to everyone, but that's okay because the Discord community doesn't cease. There's enough people in there that, there's always a fraction that can't do it today or this week or whatever. But when you've got time and you're like, all right, let's see what's going on in the Massenomics world. You hop on there. It's like, it never skipped a beat. You just jump in and
play ball. Yeah. I mean, there's people just waiting to go in there.
Yep. So there's always someone in there that's wanting to talk,
whether
actual training, actual equipment questions,
coaching, whether it's memes,
a lot of it's silly, but it runs the gamut of, or maybe like it'll just be Massenomics podcast, history, trivia type shit, and
things that we said that later we contradicted in major ways.
I can't imagine that ever happening.
No, but theoretically, if it were to happen, it would be in the Discord.
Yeah. So sign up. I think you'll really enjoy it if you're a big fan of the show or if you're a long-time listener.
If you like this show, which was us just rambling for the whole time, it kind of is sort of how the Discord is.
This one took on a slightly different format with the idea of us thinking we were going to have a guest and then ultimately not doing a guest.
We improvised this last hour and 15 minutes.
That's what we do.
We
is
didn't have any of
No.
this planned out at all.
We improvise, adapt, and overcome.
We usually have rough topics, but we had nothing.
Yeah.
We got through the rough topics in the
Well,
first
it
30
comes
minutes.
back to my Boy Scout training of always be prepared.
Yeah.
I learned that in Hueblo Scouts.
Yeah. Can't discount what you learned there. And now look at you.
Now look at me podcasting. Leave us a 5-star podcast review if you could. We'd love to see that. See that number tick up. And then head over to our website. It's massenomics.com. Go to the shop. We have probably like 40 t-shirts for sale and 10 different pairs of shorts. The Lift Shorts 3, Tommy and I are both wearing them. Some of the sizes are getting a little lower in inventory.
Yeah.
So, and we don't know as of today what's next. Is it, do we have these again exactly someday? Is it something different? If you want a piece of Lift Shorts 3 history, it would be the time to buy that.
Yeah, your only safe bet is to get these.
Yeah, I would also say the Drink Spotter. We are running lower in current inventory of both sizes. There's really just a few sitting around in my house right now. We're hopefully going to restock those fairly soon. And but for now, if you want one and you don't want to wait, I would order a Drink Spotter right now.
And with everything going on, who knows? Those could get way more expensive.
We are looking at that. Short term, we have an answer for that. Long term, it is more up in the air, to be perfectly honest, about what the future.
Long term, we know. We had some prices locked in from a long time ago, but like prices have gone up drastically since the dawn of the Drink Spotter.
Right.
So, yeah, something to keep an eye on.
Yes. I think no matter what, we'll have exciting things in store for that line. But if you want to be a part of history and make sure to have an original Drink Spotter, buy it now. And then our shirts, the last drop was our Daddy's Home release. We've still got, as of the time of recording, we've still got some shirts and flags left for that. And I think that's really a perfect 4th of July, summertime shirt.
That puts the vibe out.
Yeah, grab that. And then also the Varsity Script tee, that maroon that is.
Let people know where you're from.
Yeah. Where we're from.
From a heart standpoint.
Right.
Where your heart's from.
And I think that Heather Maroon just makes it extra soft.
It looks great.
It's a soft tee.
It's a great looking tee.
So yeah, buy everything. There's some sale items too. Check out the sale items. And then subscribe to our YouTube channel. I guess it's a vanity metric so that we see more people are subscribed there. Like us on Facebook. You can check us out on TikTok if you're into TikTok. There's a Massenomics TikTok.
Oh, I might have to do that.
Yeah.
I have to see what that's about.
That's it. Tommy, where do they find you at?
You can find me at Tomahawk_D.
You can follow me at Tanner_Baird, but just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics.
See ya.